Hello viewers, welcome to Express Politics on TVRC. I am Boyedokun Adedoyin Samuel, and joining me in the studio today is Mr. Akintunde Sami-Vincent. He's an educationist, an author, and a philosopher. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And the topic before us today is Kuje prison attack, a symptoms of security failure in Nigeria. As we all know, the news and the story making itself around the globe right now. It's all about Kuje prison attack, and that is why we have him here today. Sir, Mr. Akintunde, what could have amounted to the attack on Kuje prison?
It's so nice to be in the studio with you today. From what we heard, and from what the report says that the prison has good number of the Boko Haram suspects, and that was the reason for the invasion. The prison was invaded, and so many of those suspects escaped. So that was the reason why, and even the HISWAP, they laid claim to that attack, and that was what the Ondo State governor was trying to juxtapose when he said that when HISWAP carried out an attack, they would definitely claim responsibility. When he was trying to create a kind of a juxtaposition between the attack, your massacre, and this current attack, he wasn't the one actually making the juxtaposition. From my own point of view, just trying to look from his own perspective. He said that when you see all this swap, whenever they carried out their activities, or whenever they unleashed their mayhem on the citizens, to then really come out open to say, we have done this, we have done that. So the Kuje attack, it was done by the HISWAP, of which they claim responsibility.
Okay, sir. But before this kind of attack could be orchestrated and before it could be done, don't you think there is a foul play within the personnel of the prisoner?
Well, in my opinion, prison of that magnitude, Kuje prison is it's among the most popular prison in Nigeria. So one could only wonder what could have happened to the security operatives assigned to that prison. How on earth will the military operatives succumb to this criminal element? To the extent that they burgled the prison, those suspects escaped, and we could not have up anyone who is being killed. We could not have that 20 of the HISWAP members were killed. So one could only wonder what could have actually transpired. Perhaps, like you said, it's becoming to look like there's a kind of insider's job. That maybe somebody somewhere planned the attack just to free those suspects for reason best known to him or her, because we cannot just say it's only men these days that are perpetrating evil.
Yes, we can say that. Okay, in the Buddhist forum says, and I quote, "End will roll if federal government don't arrest the culprits." Do you see this as a threat? Rather?
Of course, it's a threat. If the likes of the Kano could still be in the prison,
yes,
and why some criminal elements are this attack happened in the center. In the middle of Abuja. In Abuja,
the capital
in the capital of the country. So, if some people could gather themselves and they could attack a prison in the center, in the capital of the country, and they went away scot-free. So, what one could only wonder what the Hebrews have done. Why would they? All military operatives at the moment, most of them were being sent to the eastern side of the country to create a kind of, and so many of the Hebrews were being killed. Virtually every time, whenever they called it whatever operation they carried out, Hebrews are being killed. And here, so one could only say, okay, perhaps this is a kind of double standard, where some part of the country are being suffered for agitating for their right. We are actually saying they are being marginalized, that they are not part of the part of the political process. Why some people are just behaving, and some, perhaps maybe the leaders, are just folding their hands to see these criminal elements disrupt and destroy the country, while others are being pinched to the wall to say, no, you cannot break. Why some are brilliant and they are misbehaving and they are destroying the country? So one could only say that this is a kind of a double standard treatment that should not even have happened in the first place.
Okay. Let's take a look at let's take a look at it from this aspect. These ISWAP or the attackers, they came with bomb and the rest. But they killed a lot of security personnel there also. And with the situation on ground, the news that was making itself round again this morning says that the weapons that these people are using, even the military personnel, the military agencies of this country, they don't have access to it. They don't have it. So my question is, don't you think that banditry and terrorists are taking control over the security agencies in this country?
Well, who is to be blamed? That's why in every military operation, there's what we call the intelligence department, and it's not just peculiar to one sector of the military. It's all round. Okay. We have those in the Navy, in the Air Force, and even among the police, we have intelligence unit. How on earth? What exactly? What are the security operatives employed for? What is their job, if not to look into something like this, if not to secure? I mean, they are. Don't forget that they are part of the instruments used by the government. I mean, the government are the one in charge of any military. That's why it is called, the president is called the chief, the commander of armed forces. Is the one in charge of the armed forces. So what is their job, if not to intelligently look into the security architecture of this country? How on earth will those people? This attack is not carried out. It's not in Borno. It's not in Maduguri. It's not in Oyo. It's not in Ebonyi. This is in Abuja. If intelligence at that level could be so weakened, then tell me who is saving this country?
Okay. Still on that also, but I just want to ask you this one to eat. Don't you think it's high time we make use of technology in the country?
Well,
like a closed circuit.
Either technology or not technology. In the broad daylight, some people were captured. They were captured as Boko Haram suspects. This wasn't required the use of CCTV to capture them, and they captured them. Their faces were known, and all of a sudden, they were being their whatsoever their members. Maybe the head of their terrorist network invaded the same person and they were casted away. I mean, they escaped. This is not the issue of what we call technology or not technology. This is just a failure at its peak, leadership failure at its peak. Because I don't, even if you mount, you have 200 CCTV there. Of course, the CCTV will still capture them. But the point is, what happened afterwards? That's the salient question we should be asking. What happened afterward? Even if the CCTV has already captured them, and now we want to play the CCTV, this place, okay, those who escaped now, I will say we don't know, their faces are not known. Go and check the dailies. You will see their pictures. They are all there. But what happened afterwards? This should be the question. Okay. And don't forget, this is not the first jailbreak. This won't be the first prison attack in this year. We've had series of them. Are we saying that, okay, now we just want to fold our hands to see something like this keep happening? Don't forget, people will keep perpetrating evil. They will keep sending them to prison, and they will keep escaping. Then what are we not resorting to jungle justice like the Union Terror Revolution?
Mr. President said something this morning. He said he will make sure that he curb off, he will mop off all these terrorists and banditry in Nigeria before the end of his regime. And we have less than maybe 8 months to the end of his regime, and for the past 7 years and 3 months, nothing has been done. Do you think that this 8 months could amount to anything in this security?
Well, in my life, I've always been an optimist. When it comes to optimism is my watchword. I really shun up pessimism. If the government is serious, if they are able to get their act correctly, in the next 1 month, we can, there's issue of Boko Haram, the issue of terrorists can just be a nightmare to this country. Will be a thing of the past. Sorry, I beg your pardon, will just be a thing of the past. That's if this government is really serious. People have named, they talked about the sponsors of these guys, the sponsors of this Boko Haram. What has actually happened? What have happened to them? Nothing has happened to them. And it's not as if the security operatives, it's not as if the military are not aware of these people that are carrying out these anomalies that are setting this country loose, making all the civil unrest here and there. But what has happened to them? So, like I said, if the government is serious, then things could, be done in the right way.
Well, our time is fast spent, but I would like us to take this one more before we go. I know that we invite you next time, you surely come. So, do you see Nigerian security agency being able to curb terrorists, banditry, and the likes soon?
Of course, like I said, that was what I think I said before the question. That if the government is genuinely serious, definitely this terrorism, because nobody has power more than the government.
Yes.
The government is the all in all. It has power to control its territory, to determine and decide who comes in and who doesn't come in. It has power to look into the water that is happening in the inner circuit. So what is happening? What is happening? If they are able to get their heart correctly, and again, the issue of our system at all level, those who are making the laws, those who are interpreting the laws, and those who are executing the laws must come together and be serious with this business. This business of lawmaking, legislature, interpreting the law, judiciary, executing the law, executive is not the job for a man who doesn't know his right from his left. They must get their heart correctly and make this country a safe haven for all and sundry.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Akintide. And viewers at home, you've had it up from Mr. Akintide's invitation. And here is where we draw the curtain for today on Express Politics. Do join us next time. Stay station. Stay tuned. Bye.